All right, everybody, we're switching it up. No music, no intro this week. You just jump right into it with these two guys.
That's
So
right. We can sing a song if you want to.
I don't think anybody wants to hear that. My own mother doesn't want to hear me sing.
You know, I told you to flip the switch, and it's like, yeah, we're live now. So it did
Yep.
come like just in your face. So that's good.
Yeah, it is there. And so this is Mobile Service Mondays, and I'm here as always with my co-host Jeremy Stevens, the remote service or remote operations director at Bozard Ford Lincoln. Jeremy, give everybody a little taste of what Mobile Service Monday is all about.
Man, that's exactly what it is. It's a taste of mobile, best practices. We're here to help you grow your mobile business. And this is kind of where it starts.
All right. I love it. And so before we jump into it, we're going to give a big shout out to our sponsor. Mobile Service Monday is proudly sponsored by Spiffy On-Demand Car Care. From logistics to payments, Spiffy helps dealers build mobile operations that scale. And you can learn more at getspiffy.com. And now it's back to us. And so, Jeremy, we were going to talk a little bit about what it looks like when you're walking through making an appointment for mobile service with Spiffy. So
Yeah. I'm excited to show kind of where it's at. And here's the thing with software, it's never really finished. It's always tweaking and making improvements and stuff like that. So we've gone a long ways with the mobile online appointment, and there's a lot of challenges to get to that point, but I can show you where we're at right now. I can walk you through setting an appointment and where it ends up on the Spiffy app. What we call our asset schedule kind of routes all our stuff together. So
yeah.
let me share the screen here. When I do this live, I always hit the wrong button, so I want to do it the best way. All right, Dave. Do you see it? What do you see? You see Bozard?
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. There we go.
Okay. All right. So this is actually, let's go all the way. All right. So when you go to our website, we have schedule service right here at the top. It's in red. And it actually can go to either a mobile service or a main shop appointment. And pretty much just simply goes through. So when I click on here, it'll actually take me to the Spiffy landing page.
All right.
And since I'm a returning customer, let me put in my information. See if I typed everything correct. All right. So with mobile service, there's going to be some security things settings. So this kind of makes sure you know the right person that you want to communicate with.
Okay.
At first I didn't like this. I was like, man, this is so slow. But then if you think about it, it's like, you could have some issues just by putting somebody's email and phone number, get their home address. So this is a way to kind of protect their customer.
That makes sense.
Exactly. Yep. So it's going to send me a text message, make sure I am who I say I am. And then, all right. And what it's going to do, I'm going to click through it pretty fast. It's going to have me pick my address, basically. So I'm going to pick my address and go here. And then it's already got my two vehicles that I have done. And I know I work at a Ford dealership, so no one judge me that I have a Buick on here. But let's pick on my Ford Maverick. And we're going to continue through. And here's what we're working on now is I don't want a busy maintenance, online appointment.
Yeah.
These are the ones we're starting off with now. We're working on one now with recalls. I'm just trying to figure out how to get the right information and not, have a complete package, because there's so many different recalls. I don't want this list to go down 25 pages, basically.
Right.
So we're trying to keep it very simple for the customers to use, because I only got a couple options here right now. And what I do like about this, because I don't have air filters, wiper blades, everything, because I don't know anybody that wants to schedule an online appointment just for an air filter. So
right.
what we designed is, I'm going to click on this one, and it kind of walks me through. So here's the options that I have with what I can add on to it, basically. So if I want a tire rotation, air, wipers, everything, I can keep adding these.
Okay. I like
And
that.
then it's going to take me to this time and date. Now I will go back. Let me see. So I do have prices set up on mine, and that they're kind of average pricing. So we kind of set up to what we call family pricing. So I take an average cost of all our parts and just throw an average out there, just so I can get the online pricing up there. Because if not, again, I can't have 20 wiper blades on there trying to get this stuff set up. So here I can just click my date, and it's going to show me my available times. So let's just choose this one, walk through. It's going to verify my information. And if I hit submit, it's going to give me a confirmation on that. So I will tell you, I did send an appointment up for my vehicle, and this is what the conductor looks like. So this is all my vans. And let me find, this is my appointment here for another vehicle I have. So what it does, like Nathan Bennett is one of my technicians, and this is what it looks like once it gets on to the schedule. This is what my team looks at to kind of figure out what jobs they have for the day.
Okay.
So Nathan Bennett, his first appointment, looks like he's got an oil change and tire rotation. It's going to take him 25 minutes to get to that first appointment. And his first appointment's at 8. So that's perfectly fine. And then he's got another appointment that looks like an electrical body. So that may be a diagnosis. So it takes him 7 minutes to get to his next job.
Okay. And Jeremy, what's the difference between the yellow and the green, and how full the box actually is?
So the green are the ones that we actually physically have checked in and everything's good to go, because this is for tomorrow. We have somebody just kind of goes through and double checks all these appointments. We have all these systems in like recalls, make sure we have the parts. So right now, our team just puts their hands on it real fast just to verify and make sure everything's there.
Yep.
And be honest with you, I cannot remember why that bar shows that way.
Okay.
These right here, the gray ones with the red around it, those are ones that we ordered a part for either the previous day and they're returning back and they're back on the schedule. So these are the ones we're going back to finish. But as you tell, like on Nathan Bennett here, he's got 4 jobs that day. And, this one's perfect. He's 7 minutes, like 2.3 miles away from it. So that's perfect. This one here is 20 minutes away. And this one here is 22 minutes away.
Okay.
In Florida, 22 minutes between appointments is pretty good. Like even this one right here, he's 4 minutes away from his next one in 14 minutes.
Nice.
So, and what's cool about this is, let's say I want to move this last one. What it's going to do, it's going to open it up, and looks like my schedule's pretty packed. Let me go to another day. Let me go. Oh, that was packed. We got a good problem.
Yeah.
Let's say if I want to move this one, I can click on this, and what it's going to do, it's going to look at the best case scenario for what other van it needs to go on. You can see this one you're right below it is 25 minutes away from his next one, and then you can kind of see the time where it would actually make sense, and it's automatically going to figure out the best case scenario for that appointment to go on if you need to change it. Oh shoot, this may go back. And that's pretty cool. It saves a lot of time instead of you going through and find the address of that one and trying to match it up. So it does have some key pieces.
Jeremy, when a customer is making an appointment, like when somebody is making an appointment, is it optimizing where the appointment should go, or is it always a customer that's choosing it? Like those times that came up, is that the system saying these are the optimal times for this appointment, or is it just open to whatever times the customer wants it?
So right now it's opened up to whatever the time the customer wants. And then once it starts building that schedule, it'll start putting them into place. It'll start eliminating, like there's so many, which, I got all the trucks can have an 8 o'clock appointment basically based on the skill level and everything of the van or the technician. And what it does, it starts removing those times from the appointment list. So I may not have a 10:30 time slot, or I may not have 11. It kind of starts changing it as the day goes by.
Okay.
Now, one thing that we do give an option to, this one way up here in the top. So that one there, sometimes what we do is we would like to bring on a little bit more, or maybe a wait list. It happens a lot on the same day where if you call in and your vehicle won't start, we'll actually put it up there on the unassigned. And then once the day starts going through, we may have an opening because the guys are getting finished sooner, basically. And we can drop that in where it makes sense, basically.
Okay.
And this is like today's, seems like everybody's finished today. Looks like he may be running a little bit late because of that appointment where it's at. But that's pretty much how it's not nothing, complex or anything like that. But yeah, so and some of these right here where you see flex, what we do, we actually assign people as flex drivers because, with 30 some technicians, you may have someone call out. So we kind of leave those open just so we can drop those emergencies in.
Okay.
As you see, some of them are they don't have anything scheduling, but they get full pretty fast.
Yeah.
So like this was a flex, but he ended up doing 4 that day. So it definitely, those are nice to have on our side just because it gives us a little bit more flexibility.
Yeah, I'm sure every day something comes up somewhere.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so the other, like last Friday, we had a guy that had a flat tire. So he was behind on his other appointment. So that flex driver had to go pick that appointment up because he was, he was of course running late because of it.
Yep.
But yeah, so that's pretty much how it works on the back side of it.
All right. I like that. It's nice. I like that the before you get into what you're seeing here, what the customer sees, that it's simple and easy for the customer, right? Because the typical online scheduler is anything but simple and easy for your customers.
Yeah, because once you go on there and they have, because all they're doing is pulling all your operation codes of all your dealership, and it's dropping out. And we haven't got ours fixed totally yet. We're just adding a little bit at a time, kind of testing out with different terminologies. Because the one that we were looking at today is diagnostics. It's like if you click on a diagnostics, what does that mean? So we're changing some terminology, and just so we're so used to some of these terminologies, I don't know if anybody on the outside understands what we're saying. So using some AI technology, it's like, what does it mean? Is it diagnose an issue and concern? And that's what we kind of changed it to today. Is
Yeah.
it's kind of getting down to what it actually means.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's I think you're right. Too often we're too deep in it to realize that something that may seem like a simple term to us means absolutely nothing to somebody outside of our world.
Yeah. And this and we were talking today, and more of an automation with software, and that's what we're working with Spiffy now. Is we have a lot of our advisors spend a lot of times trying to get tickets prepped to close them, and there's not an exact number on it with pricing, and this
Yeah.
customer has this price or fleet has this. So we're really trying to dial it into how can we make it flow and make everything equal right. And it's a lot of behind the scenes setup, but once it's done, then we feel like it'll save everybody time and energy for sure.
Yeah, and time and energy that's just really a repetitive task, right? It's that they're
Yeah,
doing that same thing every single day. So if you can
it
fix
is.
that, you free up a lot of time for them.
Yeah, because the aftermarket world, they have some great software, but their price is a little bit easier because it's just totally different. You add a warranty line in there. What does that look like? That changes the
Right.
whole dynamic, because now we got to send a digital copy and let the customer acknowledge that, hey, we're about to perform warranty and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So we have that feature now. So it's just really making the circle complete. And pricing is the first struggle, because if you look at your online presence, it always says call for pricing.
Right.
And I feel like nobody's going to click on that. It's like, well, shoot, I don't know if it's going to be $50 or $400.
Right.
You hear all these things about dealerships charging a lot of money. So it depends on where your mind goes on that. So trying to
Yeah,
get ahead.
and then when they do call for pricing, the whoever answers the phone is asking them questions they can't answer, so they can't get a price anyways.
Yeah. So I was just talking to our communication center before we got on, and I was like, when customers calling for an oil change, do they say like, "Hey, I'm a semi-synthetic," or "I'm a full synthetic," and I have 7 quarts of oil in my engine, and it's like they don't.
Yeah.
They're looking for us for those answers, and especially in the domestic side, there's so many different oil filters, so many different quarts,
Right.
different weights. I was like, man, it gets kind of overwhelming.
Yeah, it was funny to me when I moved from Ford to Acura the first time, like going from Ford with 9 billion different engines and transmissions and combinations of those engines and transmissions and drivetrains and everything, to Acura, which basically had, one transmission. It was either a manual or an automatic, and,
Yep.
and 3 different engines. It was like a totally different world.
And 2 different oil filters.
Yeah, exactly.
One for a 4-cylinder and one for a V6. And it's like, oh my gosh, that helps with your inventory and everything else. But that's what we're going to. We want to go to more of an online presence, so it's a complete circle. Even with our technicians, if we can get all that stuff set up, or when we get all that stuff set up, then from that point, the tech can send you an invoice right there on the spot and collect payment, and that takes one less load off the advisor, so they can actually either sell something or go after more business.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's much more convenient for the customer to pay that bill right then, right there, while the tech's there, rather than having to wait, even if it's an hour. Right? It's much more impactful if they're paying it right then while the tech is there. They literally just saw them finish their car and can take care of that invoice. So
exactly, and we're so close to that right now, and to make it that streamlined, we try to time it just right where the advisor is collecting money at the time. But man, it's like it'll be so nice to hit keys returned to customer, and then it sends you that invoice, and then you click it, and it's done.
Yeah, much more streamlined and easy for the customer. So
yeah. Definitely is. But yeah, if anybody has any questions or anything about the way this software works, we've had dealerships come by and we love to show it off. And yeah, because I know we're always looking for, the best way of solving this stuff, especially when we start adding a lot of vans on the road.
Yeah, it gets a lot more complicated, right? With more vans, one or two, the complications are different, right?
Yeah.
If somebody calls in sick, they don't have a flex van to take up space. But on the other side of that, they also don't have vans that are scheduled out for a week and a half. That are 40 vans scheduled out for a week and a half.
Yeah, that third and fourth van is where it starts to get a little tricky, trying to figure out best effective routes and stuff like that. And this helps you just take the guess out of it. And to us, a lot of the technicians have to kind of let the system work out. So those bars represent physical time working on the job.
Okay.
So there's a lot of setup to this software. So like an oil change, in the shop, it could take 30 minutes and they could get it done basically.
Yeah.
So the way we had to set it up is like, it takes physically, not flag time, the physical time. And that's how it kind of creates the workflow. Basically, we give our guys 45 minutes because they know they got to greet the customer. They got to do a little bit more than a typical technician would. Actually, we changed it to 60 minutes. Because the guys didn't feel like they had enough time to do the right MPI and talk with the customer about it.
Mm-hmm.
And since we switched that, our sales has increased. They're actually, presenting more because they're not looking at the next appointment. It's like, I got to go because I got to be here in 20 minutes kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. It's now that feels so counterintuitive, right? To what you're doing in the shop. In the shop, it's that oil change is got to get in and out as fast as possible. Like 60 minutes is not okay. But out there in the field, it is.
It did, and it took a lot of brain power for me to stop thinking that way because I'm like, no, y'all can do it in 20 minutes. But what's cool about the software is, so if I give that technician an hour to do an oil change and tire rotation,
yeah.
So it kind of fills his schedule up. So basically, he could do, if it was oil changes all day long, he could do 5 or 6, depending on the travel time, basically, because I can't overbook physical time on a van. There has to be some flexibility for restroom breaks and lunch like that. So that's why I keep that window there. But what happens is, if he finishes in 30 minutes, it shrinks that schedule up. And it opens sections up basically.
Yeah.
So there's same day appointments. That's where I have flexibility to do those same day appointments, is because you get on a guy, he gets on a groove and he can knock a lot out, especially if it's in the same neighborhood. And that's what kind of opens you up to be able to take on more of the same day. So it's a pretty cool efficiency model.
And so is Spiffy, or are you monitoring the amount of time these jobs are taking to make adjustments as time goes on? So like, is it learning as it goes on that like, hey, a brake job, if we're going to do a brake job out there, it's not going to be 2 hours. It's going to be 3 hours that it's going to take us.
No, it's pretty much dialed into those 2 hours. It's going to stick with that unless they finish early. Like when they hit mark complete, then it's going to take whatever actual time they were on that. Or it could go the other way. He could break some bolts off and it may spread out 30 minutes. And you talk about a ripple effect at that point, because that would just pushed off all the schedules later.
Right.
And that's where you got to have somebody kind of watching that schedule, make sure everybody's on point, because the Spiffy software alerts you if he's running late to that appointment. It'll actually highlight red that, hey, he's running late, and you can kind of proactively shuffle those to another van.
Yeah. All right. I love it. Well, this was cool. I like being able to actually see the software and how it works and how it's helping you as the operator, but also helping the customer make a very simple appointment. So any final thoughts from Mr. Jeremy Stevens?
No, just if you got any questions, drop a comment or reach out to me. We'd love to let you see it in action and stuff. I know that was seemed like that was a fast 30 minutes, but
it was. It goes like that sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah, I had to, and that was just really just blowing through it real fast. It does a little bit more than on that, but yeah, if your curiosity is there, reach out.
Absolutely. Jeremy has the answers. And so before we go, another thank you to our sponsor, Spiffy. Mobile Service Monday, proudly sponsored by Spiffy. On-demand car care, from logistics to payments, Spiffy helps dealers build mobile operations that scale. And you can learn more at getspiffy.com to learn how they can support your mobile goals from day one. And so, Jeremy, that was another session of Mobile Service Monday. Very cool to see Spiffy in action there. And everybody else, we will see you next Monday. Mark it off on your calendar. We're here every Monday. At least one of us is here every Monday. I wasn't here last Monday, but
you had a replacement last week.
I had a replacement. Kyle came off the bench and did a great job. So I was nervous I wasn't going to be asked back, but
you're always back. You got the full control of the show.
All right, good stuff, everybody. We will see you next week.